Your Azure OpenAI calls work great in testing. Then production traffic hits and you start seeing HTTP 429 errors. Tokens per minute and requests per minute quotas are real, and the question isn't whether you'll hit them, it's how gracefully you'll handle it. In the next 5 minutes, I'll walk you through the decision: when to lean on the SDK's built-in retries, when to write your own, how to honor the retry-after header, and the architecture moves that matter once one deployment isn't enough. Let's make this concrete. Azure OpenAI enforces 2 limits per deployment: tokens per minute and requests per minute. When either is exceeded, the service returns a 429 with a retry-after header telling you, in seconds, when to try again. Crucially, that header is authoritative. It reflects the server's view of when capacity frees up, so a fixed sleep of 1 second is naive and often wrong. You also get transient 500, 502, and 503 errors that are worth retrying. The strategy differs. Rate limits need patience. Transient faults need quick backoff. Here's what many people miss. The official OpenAI Python library has retry logic built in. By default, the Azure OpenAI client retries up to 2 times on 429 connection errors and 5xx responses using exponential backoff. It also respects the retry-after header automatically. You control this with the max retries parameter on the client, or per request with options. So before you reach for Tenacity or hand-rolled loops, ask whether bumping max retries to 4 or 5 solves your problem. For many workloads, it does. So when do you outgrow the built-in behavior? The SDK is perfect when you want simple, per-call resilience and you trust its backoff curve. You write your own when you need richer control, a circuit breaker after repeated failures, custom jitter, logging and metrics on every attempt, or fall back to a second deployment when the primary is throttled. The rule of thumb: start with the SDK's max retries, and only add a library like Tenacity when you have a concrete requirement the SDK can't express. Don't stack both blindly, or you'll multiply your effective retry count. If you do go custom, here's the shape that works. Catch rate limit error and API status error. Read the retry-after header when present and sleep exactly that long, and otherwise use exponential backoff with full jitter to avoid a thundering herd of synchronized retries. Cap total attempts and total wait time so a request can't hang forever. Tenacity makes this declarative. Notice we honor the server's hint first and only fall back to computed backoff. That single detail separates resilient clients from ones that keep slamming a throttled endpoint. If you're hitting 429s constantly, retries are a band-aid, not a fix. At that point, you have architectural options. First, request a quota increase or move to provisioned throughput units, PTU, for predictable capacity. Second, spread load across multiple deployments in different regions and route between them. A common pattern puts Azure API management in front, using its load balancing and the spillover policy to fail over from a throttled pay-as-you-go deployment to a backup. Now your client retry logic handles blips, and the gateway handles capacity. Put it together as a ladder. Step 1. Set a sensible timeout and bump max retries on the SDK client. Step 2. If you need fallback or observability, wrap calls with Tenacity, always honoring retry-after. Step 3. If 429s persist under normal load, fix capacity with quota, PTUs, or multi-deployment routing through API management. Climb only as far as your problem demands. Most teams live happily on the first 2 rungs. To recap, the OpenAI SDK already retries on 429 and 5xx and respects retry-after. So start by tuning max retries before writing anything custom. When you need fallback, circuit breaking, or metrics, add Tenacity with exponential backoff plus jitter, and always honor the server's retry-after first. If you're throttled constantly, that's a capacity problem to solve with quota. provisioned throughput units, or gateway level routing. Your one action today: open your client setup. Set max retries to 5 and a 30-second timeout. Defaults and limits change, so verify the current numbers in the Azure OpenAI docs. If this helped, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.